College basketball is finally back in Spokane as the Gonzaga Bulldogs prepare to take on Alabama State in their first game of the regular season. Students have been lining up since last night in high anticipation of tonight's game as well as the rest of the year ahead. With a handful of newcomers to the squad as well as a hungry fan base behind them, the wait for college hoops is finally over. Reporting at McCarthy Athletic Center, Jacob Dizon, KHQ Local News. I'm just outside the Myrtle Woolton Performing Arts Center where it is opening weekend for Romeo and Juliet. This show is the first major production inside the new theater which just opened last semester. The new facility boasts a main theater that seats over 750 students as well as a recital hall that seats over 160. With its first show on the road and many more to come, it will surely be interesting to see what makes the stage. Reporting at Gonzaga University, Jacob Dizon, KHQ Local News. It came as a surprise to many this morning who woke up to the sight of fresh snow outside their window. Spokane received a total of 3.3 inches last night, the most this city has seen on this date since 1981. Following a report from the Northwest News Network and the Center for Investigative Reporting, it was found that for over 3 decades, Cardinal Bea House, a retirement home for Jesuits on campus, was once home to over 20 priests who had been accused of sexual misconduct. This law all came to be after the measles outbreak. Still, the group Informed Choice Washington wants parents to know that this is a problem, as they hold firmly in their beliefs that parents that don't want to vaccinate their children shouldn't be required to. Tuition or dinner? That is a question many students have to answer when financial aid or their part-time job isn't enough to pay the bills. SFCC is working to eliminate this added stress, and it all begins in the campus cafeteria.
We have these things is because you can put the extra food in it from the cafeteria, like the peas.
Ready-to-eat, microwavable meals that are free for students on the go and helps eliminate waste by the kitchen.
Saves me about almost, if I use it every month, it saves me about $100 a month. Groceries aren't cheap. Most of the students here are living off financial aid, and we got to get laptops, we got to get books, and financial aid, that extra money from financial aid goes into that.
The food pantry on campus allows students to bring home up to 45 pounds of food each quarter, along with hygiene products and the occasional article of clothing or two.
It's a security, and it's something to take a little bit of anxiety off because college is stressful anyway, so why would you want to have to worry about if you're hungry or not?
And the extra stress can undermine a student's ability to be successful in the classroom. Kyle Bowie, a student ambassador at SFCC, says the college's pantry does a great job at providing something for everyone.
There's not just like cheap food, like at a lot of food banks when I was growing up. The food bank wasn't too great, but here, I actually got meat, I got eggs, I got milk, I got stuff that I actually want to eat, not stuff that I have to eat.
I learned that over the 2018-2019 school year, just under 780 students used the food pantry. That's out of 9,000 students. And when I asked why more students weren't using it, the most common answer was the stigma surrounding food insecurity and food banks.
No cons to it. You're wasting money kind of if you don't come here because you're paying for it in a way. So you might as well get some free food out of it. And for those who really can't afford food, it's a comfort, and it gives you confidence in your school that that they know that you are going through the stereotype of a broke college student.
If you want to help students on campus, you can do so by donating food and hygiene products directly to Skitch's Food Pantry. All information on that can be found on our website, khq.com. In Spokane, I'm Jacob Dizon, KHQ Local News. Right now, woodland fires continue to scorch California, leading the state's Pacific Gas and Electric to issue warnings about more power outages. According to PG&E officials, crews are monitoring the weather, ready to shut off power if hot, dry, and gusty winds hit the area. The outages could affect nearly 850,000 homes and businesses in the Bay Area, the Sierra Foothills, and Mendocino County. If you're tired of this wet weather we're having, it could be worse, much worse. A powerful northeastern storm brought heavy winds and rain across the northeast. Forecasters called for tropical storm-like conditions with winds reaching up to 50 miles an hour. Buildings and power lines were knocked down in several areas, and coastal areas saw massive flooding as well. Things have dried out in the east, but the wet weather moving forward across the Pacific Northwest is still active. KHQ Noel Lashley's in the Weather Center now, tracking when things could finally dry out. Caught on camera tonight, a car running an intersection crashes into another vehicle before plowing into a group of children at a bus stop in Ohio. 4 of the children were injured in the crash and 3 of them suffered minor injuries. The 4th child was hospitalized with non-life-threatening conditions.
Neighbors in the area say they aren't surprised the crash happened since it wasn't the first time. Neighbors say bad drivers and a stop sign with poor visibility caused the accidents. They're now asking their city to install a traffic light in the neighborhood. This investigation is still ongoing. A bizarre story out of Madrid, Spain now, where a woman's body was discovered over 15 years after her death. According to the Spanish media, the woman died in late 2004 from natural causes inside her apartment. She was believed to be around 78 years old at the time of her death. Police and firefighters found the body in the bathtub after a distant relative alerted police of the woman's disappearance. Neighbors originally reported a strange odor at the time of the woman's death, but said it went away after a couple of weeks. In a consumer alert tonight, CVS, Walmart, and Rite Aid are pulling all bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby powder from their shelves. The three stores are concerned about possible asbestos contamination. The move comes roughly a week after the company recalled 33,000 bottles of the baby powder after trace amounts were found in one lot shipped to the U.S. Johnson & Johnson says the stores are acting out of what's being called an abundance of caution. Time for a quick break. Sports is up next.
Right now, the Florida coastline is dealing with the aftermath of the outer bands of Tropical Storm Nestor. A tornado ripped through Polk County near Tampa overnight, initially touching down near an airport before heading north and causing widespread damage to homes and buildings. The tornado ripped the roof off a middle school, knocked a semi-truck over on I-4 and blocked traffic for hours. Although some damage was severe, no injuries have yet been reported.